I have nothing but amazing memories of Grandma, and just, I think the most prominent ones for me are just the little moments that I think back on, like when she would crack a joke and it would be so unexpectedly morbid or dark, and it would just catch you off guard, but she was so funny, and just the way she would smile at you when you walked in a room, because she was so happy to see you. It didn't matter where, it didn't matter, what was going on. She was just so happy that you were there with her. And no matter what you were doing, she was so proud of you. Even if you felt you were at such a low point, she was proud of you just for, being you and being yourself and doing what you could. And I think that is something she always taught me, is just always be positive, always keep a smile on your face, even during hard times. And I will always treasure how strong she was, how brave she was. She was the strongest person, the strongest woman I knew. And she inspires me every day to be the best version of myself, the strongest version of myself. And she reminds me that no matter what happens in life, I will make it through. And I am very lucky to have her as someone to look up to. And I was very lucky to know her in my life. And I will miss her so much.
I think my favorite memory of Grandma would be all the sporting games of mine that she went to when I was younger. She was the first person, her and Grandpa, so the first people that I saw either right at the game or right after. And they were always very active from the bleachers, so they really weren't just there, but you could tell that they were there, which was always funny and awesome to watch videos on after the game, or if I was fortunate enough to hear them during the game. That was always something. And another part of Grandma that I miss too is just how much she embodied being a grandma. She was always, it was a comfort place you could go to. She was a comfort person to be around. And yeah, she just was the perfect grandma. And we're gonna miss her and love her dearly. And I always have those memories to hold on to forever, which I'm very glad for.
Grandma was the strongest, most loving, and inspirational lady I have ever known. She never really knew her dad. Her mom died when she was a kid, and she was raised by her grandmother. She lived for a while without indoor plumbing and never wanted to be the last one in the bathwater. She didn't see a TV or learn to drive until she started dating Grandpa. Grandma's stories were unforgettable. She was the most grateful person I have ever met. She grew up with very little and appreciated all she ever had. She was particular about her fashion and her food. Grandma learned how to become a loving wife and caring mother all on her own, and she was incredible at all of her roles. She loved everyone unconditionally. Grandma treated everyone with love and respect, no matter the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, the piercings on their faces, or the tattoos on their bodies. She was so understanding and empathetic. She loved us all regardless of our mistakes. Grandma was always there for us. She taught us how to love and care for others. Grandma's memory will live on through the generations as we all live and care for one another, as she loved and cared for all of us.
Hi y'all, this is Josh. I am Bruce's son, which was her son, and or her grandson. And some of the best things about growing up a couple miles down the road from her was just being over that house. It was always so clean. Everything had a spot. You'd always try to get into what you could, such as like the cookie jar. I remember right where that was, still to this day. The garden out back, we'd always be playing in that. Grandpa had the garden hose lined underground for her, so because it was pretty far out back, so I mean it made gardening easy. That's something she truly cared about. And the yearly decorations they had in their home, the Christmas city that you'd get into, and she wouldn't want you to, so she'd kind of have some set aside for you. And it was just always fun. It was never not fun staying the night, playing forts, doing anything over there. Her memory was outstanding. She'd tell you stories. She could always tell you a story that could relate to anything. She always asked what mattered to you and her. So if it was for me, it'd be my hockey games, golf. She'd show up to stuff, no questions asked. She'd always want to be there. Still, all the way to this date, all she'd care about too was from Jen's, Nick's, Will's, all the kids, her great grandkids. Just cared about them nonstop. Or how happy it made her to even see my first kid here, just born 9-10 months ago. It made her so happy, and the time she got to see her was amazing. So she's just somebody that when you're around her as much as a lot of us have been, it makes you a better person. A classic saying, I guess, but really, as nice as she was to everybody, no matter what you did in your past, what you were doing, who you were, she'd treat you the same. And she was always just such a genuinely nice person. That's how you knew. That's how she wanted everybody to carry themselves. So it's really all you can put it. There's not a regret or a bad time that I've ever had with her. So I would just, from the bottom of my heart, just want to say thank you for everything.
I miss the time I had with you. Like the time I tried to put a can of Coca-Cola in your gas tank.
I miss you very much, and I wish you were here to see me and Keegan. Love you.
One thing I always remember about Grandma Clark is that she will always take the time to show someone how much she cares or put in the extra effort. So it's really her heart and how she gave it all on everything. We all love her, and she will be missed.
Grandma, thinking of you, the number one thing I feel is unconditional love. My whole life, you always made me feel safe, loved, and accepted. You not only made me feel this way, but everyone you touch. Some of my favorite memories are from my childhood, being with you. Out at your house, you would get Nick and I and all of us grandkids separately to make us all feel loved. One of my favorite things was the connection we had over soap operas, mostly Days of Our Lives. I remember you recorded it every day, and we always watched it together and gossiped about the show. I loved that it was our thing. I was explaining to Chris the other day how hard my mom's service was and how I remember it was you that got me through that day. Grandma, you had just lost a child, but the whole day you spent making sure I wasn't alone or overwhelmed, even holding me through the whole thing. The only person in the world that would or could ease my pain the way you could, the way a mom could. You have always radiated love and acceptance. Chris later explained, when he met you, it seemed as if you were a protective shield, as he couldn't find the words to explain how I changed when you were around. You were my protector, my friend, but most importantly, you were always exactly what I needed when I needed it. Thank you for loving me the way you did. Thank you for always making me feel special regardless of the situation. Mostly, thank you for being my grandma and showing me what love is and should be. Every time I feel the sun shine on my face, I will know it's you radiating your love forever and always through everyone you've touched. I love you, Grandma. You will forever be a part of me. Love, Heather.
Mom, when I looked at you as a young girl, I would think, I want to be like her someday, beautiful and strong. You were the heart of our family, and you gave me a lifetime of memories. And my favorite times are the ones I shared with you. You were my first friend, my best friend, and my forever friend. I remember eating dinner as a family every night. Our church bell you would ring to call us in to eat if we were outside playing. I remember making homemade Christmas ornaments using glittery sequins. Yours were so beautiful. Making red and green popcorn balls and the smell of cinnamon rock candy during Christmas time. And decorating those beautiful floats by fluffing Kleenex into the shape of a flower for the Sand Lake Festival. Sifting the sand on our beach. Going to church Saturday nights and then off to the races at the Whittemore Speedway. Watching you can tomatoes for days. Picking blueberries with you and playing on that old yellow school bus at the Red Cabin. The taste of your chocolate chip cookies. These are some of my favorite memories. Going to the boat races in Bay City, family vacations, weekends out to that mansion at Gully Pond with many family friends, with pool tables, jukeboxes, and arcade games. Cousins doing chores at our house, dusting baseboard heaters to earn 10 cents, sometimes 25 cents to go to the corner store to buy 25 bazooka bubblegums or those colorful pixie sticks. Eating Jeannie's pizza on the days you would get your hair done. Raking leaf piles with you and jumping in them. Your amazing dinners. The smell of your skin, like white diamonds. Wearing a scarf over your curlers before you went to bed every night. I love that you saved every card you got from Dad, us kids, and grandkids. Being my boys' biggest cheerleader at all their sporting events and all milestones throughout their life. And you loved all of us, even if we made mistakes while living life. You have shown me that it is the little things in life that can be the most special. You gave us the wings we needed to fly. Mom, I will always remember and never forget this last year. When you were there for me and when I was there for you. I will never forget our time together. When time was yours and mine. How we laughed and how we smiled. I stood by you, you stood by me. We took each day and we made it shine. And I had you and you had me. So my wish for you, Mom, is I want you to be free and for you to know that you are the best part of me. When I close my eyes now, I will see you, Mom, in my dreams. When I open my eyes, I will miss you. But I will always, always think of you and smile. I love you forever, Mom. Your Elizabeth.
Dearest Mom, I am truly blessed that God chose you for my mother, and I want to thank you for such a wonderful childhood filled with love and beautiful memories, and for always being there for us throughout our lives. And thank you so much for setting such a wonderful example of spreading love and kindness to all. I love you, Mom, and you will always be with me and in my heart forever. God bless you.
Yeah. And I love my kids. I don't care what they do. I love them all. Mm-hmm. My grandkids, I mean, you might not approve of some things, but you love them. I feel very blessed, really. I do. What is that phrase they use? Like everybody, no matter what religion, no matter what color we are, we're all the same in God's eyes. Mm-hmm. And why can't we love each other and be happy for what we have and help other people if you can help other people? Mm-hmm. I mean, and I want my kids to be happy and be able to have a decent life and anyway, when you have kids, you hate to see them go through rough times and all this and that, and I think that's probably normal. Mm-hmm. But I think my kids have done pretty darn good.
There's peace, I'm sure.